Hey, everybody, my name is Paul Leston Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. You can see I am back from my multi day visit to the New Jersey area, which, by the way, was very nice. More on that later, more on that to come here in a couple of weeks, and that announcement with some stuff with the New York Jets. But before we get there, there was a Robert Saleh presser, of course. He met with the media virtually on Thursday. He did not attend the NFL Combine for the second straight year, but he did speak with the media virtually, and he had a very interesting comment when asked about a guy that, quite frankly, hasn't been getting a lot of run. That is Mike White, who is scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent coming up here when the new league year kicks off on March 15th. He was asked about the future of Mike White in a Jets uniform. Interesting answer here and what it could possibly mean for the Jets quarterback room. Here we go. Roll the footage.
His name hasn't come up much, but where are you guys on Mike White? Would you like to have him back at the quarterback?
Oh yeah, no, Mike. I know. Feel like I probably should be talking about him more. Mike deserves every bit to be talked about. He should be on this roster also, and he's we carried 3 last year, but again, he's going through his process, and it's just something that obviously we're keeping close tabs on. So.
His name hasn't come.
And let's just end it right there, guys. That's it. That is something the Jets are keeping close tabs on. But I got a spoiler alert for everybody. Again, this is not a prediction. It's a spoiler alert. And quite simply, it's this. The Jets are not going to be able to retain Mike White. This is a guy who is hitting unrestricted free agency truly for the first time in his career. He is looking to get paid. He mentioned it in the exit meetings with the New York Jets that he is looking for stability. The New York Jets are obviously getting a veteran quarterback. We still don't know who that is. Also, during that Robert Saleh press conference and the Joe Douglas one earlier in the week, the Jets are sticking with Zach Wilson. Now, whether he's QB2 or QB3, that is irrelevant. They plan on keeping him on the roster. And if they do, let's start playing the math game here. QB1, let's call it Derek Carr for giggles, is going to be $35 million plus per season. 35 million. Zach Wilson is counting 11 million against the cap. How much more money is there in the coffers for a backup quarterback? Number one, that's the number one question I asked for the New York Jets as they attempt to fill the void. Because if you are a fan out there and you don't believe that Zach Wilson is capable of being a competent backup quarterback, and by competent backup quarterback, I mean a guy that could step in at a moment's notice if the Jets need him. And let's throw this fun fact out there that the New York Jets have not had a quarterback play an entire season since 2015. It's 2023. That was 8 years ago, and that was Ryan Fitzpatrick. And hell, even during that season, he got knocked out in the Raiders game. He started every game of that season. But in terms of actually being healthy from pillar to post, that's the last time a Jets quarterback was able to do that. So when you mention that fun fact, that means more likely than not that a backup quarterback, especially in an expanded season of 17 games, will at some point come in. What is the confidence level of each and every one of you out there that if Zach Wilson is called upon, he could step up to the plate? At the very least, there are questions. So, how do the Jets get another veteran quarterback in there? First off, money, financially. There's only so much you can invest in the quarterback position to potentially get another guy in there on top of Zach Wilson and this veteran. Number two, how attractive is the Jets quarterback room? I'll tell you, not very. Now, I'm not saying that for a veteran quarterback that comes in. The pitch is obvious. Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, and everybody else in that young defense, it looks really good as well. But I'm talking about the backup quarterback. So a quarterback's on the streets. The Jets have acquired their star quarterback, whoever that is. Zach Wilson is staying. They go up to the guy and say, hey, you want to be the backup here? It's like, well, what's going on with Zach? Well, we like him. He's the number 2 overall pick. Well, what's going on with the other guy? Well, we just paid him $40 million a year. Where do I? That's what I would be asking as a veteran quarterback. Where the hell do I fit in the mix? It's awkward with Zach Wilson, and you just signed a guy. So I don't believe it's going to be all that attractive, which leads us to believe that I don't think it's going to be a very easy pitch for the New York Jets to an available backup quarterback to come in here and be the guy. So it may be very difficult for the New York Jets, which obviously puts even more pressure for the Jets to bring a guy in. Now, the Jets would like Mike White back, and I would also like $1 million. If I'm Mike White, I'm not coming back. Why would I? Why would I take any less, which would be a prerequisite likely? They couldn't afford him at the $6 to $8 million per year range Rich Sweeney believes he's going to command on the open market. So number one, he would have to take less than that. Why would he? And number two, there's no clear path for Mike White. If there's a veteran guy here, that guy's the starter. And then with Zach Wilson hanging around and the Jets believing in him, where's your path? If I'm Mike White, I go to a place like Los Angeles. I follow Mike LaFleur over to the Rams. Matthew Stafford is a broken bag of bones, and there is a clear path. If he gets hurt, and I'm Mike White, I'm like, I'm the quarterback for a Sean McVay offense. That to me is tantalizing. That to me is sexy. So I just wanted to throw that out there, not trying to be a Debbie Downer of sorts, but you just kind of call it how you see it. And it does appear to me anyway that the New York Jets will have difficulty not landing QB1. I believe there's a strong pitch, but being QB2 or weirdly QB3 with the Zach Wilson mix may be very difficult for the Jets to pitch to an available veteran guy, which could be a big issue once we get to the 2023 season. But certainly it came up with the Mike White discussion. Fascinating stuff nonetheless. And hopefully one of these days we'll find out who the heck will be QB1 for the Jets. But until then, I guess we could speculate on a few other items as well. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe down below. We're getting closer and closer to 4K, baby. And we have some fun guests that will be joining us here in the near future. Again, live streams, videos just like this, and of course, amazing guests and in-depth conversations always right here on the channel, Boy Green's channel. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time right here on the show. And make sure you check down below more details on the Mike White quarterback situation and his potential future with the New York Jets.